This podcast is brought to you by People's Food Co-op, a community-owned grocery store in downtown La Crosse, Wisconsin and Rochester, Minnesota, that promotes local farmers and producers through an emphasis on fresh, healthy, sustainable food. Anyone can shop. Everyone is welcome. For more information, visit them online at pfc.coop. This podcast is also brought to you by Trempealeau County Tourism. Whether your idea of fun is bicycling, hiking, or canoeing, afterwards head into the heart of one of their welcoming communities to experience historic architecture, independent shops, and locally owned dining establishments. Visit Trempealeau County Tourism online. We chat with Alyssa Hayes of Explore Minnesota. We love to have them stop by and give us a rundown on trips and events nearby. Our favorite events are anything festivals, like 70-plus bands in one weekend, a 75th annual citywide celebration, a Shakespeare festival that is a true summer destination, and some favorites for the kids. You can find more conversations, food reviews, live music, and events on our website, lacrosselocal.com. I'm Amy.
And I'm Brent.
And this is La Crosse Local.
At La Crosse Local, we love to have Explore Minnesota stop in, kind of give us a rundown of trips that are nearby La Crosse, some of our favorite events, which a favorite of ours is coming up in Winona, but we love festivals related to music, festivals related to food. Can you kind of give us a rundown of nearby festivals and events that are coming up in the area?
Yeah, I'm happy to do that. Thanks for having me. It's been a couple years. Minnesota events, festivals, whether that be music or art or food, they're making a really well-deserved comeback after 2 years since the start of the pandemic. So I think we're really excited for 22. They're making a really big return this year, everything from signature events to milestone anniversaries. Coming up here just in another week is the Midwest Music Fest in Winona, as you know, the 29th through the 30th. This is great. The festival, it was in 2020, it was held virtually. It was smaller scale in 2021. And I think everybody's really excited that this year is going to kind of return to that original multi-venue, multi-stage format throughout the city. And it's kind of cool because I love that it's modeled like a mini South by Southwest for the Midwest. And they have, from what I understand, 70 regional and local artists sprawling throughout the town, within strolling distance of each other, of course, which makes things a lot easier for everyone attending, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just love Winona and I love Midwest Music Fest. I've gone probably the last 5-6 years, except for that little break there. What I like about it too is that there's a mixture of free entry and also ticketed, but also a lot of outdoors. So if you're not that comfortable with being indoors, there's a lot of outdoor activity. Plus, I think it's like an open mind to go there and not expect to know anybody on the bill, but be blown away by original music.
Yeah, I think that's great. And, with that in mind, indoor versus outdoor, it looks like there are still some COVID safety measures in place for this year's festivities, including proof of vaccination or a negative PCR test within that 72-hour range. They're still keeping things really nice and safe and comfortable for people who are ready to kind of get back out there and enjoy the scene.
So what else do you have coming up? It looks like you got one that's been around for quite some time coming down in Winona too.
We're seeing so many milestone anniversaries. It's kind of like the stars have aligned, now that events are making a big comeback in 22, we're seeing a lot of milestone anniversaries, including the 75th annual Steamboat Days. That's coming up in June 15th through the 19th. It does look like there's a lot of announcements that are still coming, which is, that's kind of typical, with COVID. Things are coming together a little bit later than usual, and it's very much understood and should be understood if you don't, because, it's been a wild 2 years, and planning a festival is a really big haul. So they're going to be celebrating their 75th. It's basically annual citywide celebration. As I'm sure you're from the area. I just thought this was really, it's worth a quick mention because music, typically part of the scene, food, all the quintessential summer activities. I think there's town ball and things like that. This festival also, what I love to hear about it is it's so time honored, but it also ushered in this kind of new era of summer and arts and music festivals throughout the city of Winona. And Winona is making a name for its festival scene for sure.
Steamboat Days is just a classical festival. It's something that's been around for a while, but it's something that like you have a hankering for going for those main things that a festival, community festival represents. It's a fun one to check out. Another one that, our favorite is Great River Shakespeare Festival too, which such a great event to be, right in our area.
Absolutely. We love to talk about that at exploreminnesota.com. The festival is your summer destination for great theater, literally under the bluffs in beautiful Winona. Like it goes on for 5 weeks? It's like June 18th through the 31st. Biggest summer arts festival in the area. 22 season is slated to feature 3 main stage shows. And there's a lot of other things for the family. There's ice cream socials, there's talks and other events, and just lots of food, art, and outdoor adventure. Like, yes, it's about arts and theater, but there's just a lot more elements involved too, and fun for, like I said, the whole family.
It's interesting. I actually have a friend who kind of takes tours around Europe, or at least he did. And he was taking a group and he had it planned on there to do a few Shakespeare events and plays in Europe. And there was a lot of people from Winona and they go, if we wanted to go see Shakespeare, we just stay at home.
Right. I love that. Like, this is such a cool thing for the Midwest. And it's something, I handle PR here at Explore Minnesota, and I'm always pushing this out there to regional and national media to just, to talk about it and hopefully get it published in, a magazine or something. Like, it's just such a cool thing for the Midwest. And again, Winona, they keep winning here with the festivals.
One thing I think that's always cool about the festivals too is, like the family aspect of it. There's either sometimes a free ticket or just a component that includes everybody in it. One of my favorites, which I stop down quite a bit, or at least quarterly, is the Minnesota Marine Art Museum. That's one of a favorite of ours. How's that been going with opening up and everything?
They're doing well. It looks like they just started a couple days ago, April 19th, and it runs through May 1st. But they've got a cool exhibit that I'm really, curious about, because I'm familiar with the photographer name, Eric Mueller. He's a Minneapolis-based artist and photographer who basically used his photography throughout the pandemic to connect communities, share ideas, and the exhibit is called Reset 2021. He had this one-day photo project where he captured his daily experiences throughout the COVID-19 shutdowns, quarantines, isolations, and his photography features Minnesota landmarks, people, the waters of the state. I think it's a really cool thing to, kind of look back on. I mean, this is a historical time that we all went through, and I think this exhibit is going to be really, really cool. I've seen his name through my own Instagram and follow him, and I think it's just something you should check out if you're in the area.
Another thing that I love about the Marine Art Museum also is now, which are coming back, seasonal Saturdays. So it's like $1 and you basically get in your whole family, $1 per kid. And then you get in there, they do a bunch of different art making activities,
That's
live
awesome.
music. It's super fun. And it's a way to really experience art and have your kids run around, and they allow you to probably walk briskly, but they allow you to go and explore and do all sorts of activities there.
I love hearing that, as a parent myself. It's like, some parents don't always expect that you can go to the local marine art museum for a kid-friendly activity, right? Like, a lot of parents are like, oh, I have to go to the children's museum, or I have to go to the zoo. And there's a lot more lesser known activities for kids out there, and we need to keep talking about them for sure.
So, kind of heading that direction a bit more down the river road there, and also, to the Twin Cities. So what's happening in those bigger markets?
So yeah, you gotta head north up the river road, the Great River Road, All American Road. Like, if you have not taken this road trip at some point yet, you need to make it an annual, if not more than that. Part of your travel scene. It's not a long drive. It's a couple-hour drive up to the Minneapolis-St. Paul area, where you can immerse yourself into some of the best culture, theater, music, fine dining. It's time to get back into the cities. People are starting to kind of move, usher back in. The shows are coming back. The live music scene is back in full force. We're seeing a resurgence in the local theater scene between, the Minneapolis, St. Paul, and the greater surrounding area. Of course, a long awaited calendar full of Broadway shows, comedy tours, lots of just a lot of different things. I actually I just saw this on the news the other night. They were talking with local news in the Twin Cities. They were just talking about like how there are just so many shows coming up, and people are just really excited and jazzed to kind of get back out there into the city scene.
Yeah, I follow a few Minnesota venues in the cities there, and it's just great to see this ongoing list of bands that are coming through town. And I know, our area is a little bit smaller. We don't get the bigger bands. So it's exciting when I go up there to the cities, I always try to find somewhere good to eat. I always maybe might stop by the Sculpture Garden or the Walker beforehand, grab some food, grab some beer at the local breweries, and then go to a show. So it's always a great time when you're visiting.
That's exactly it. I mean, it's one of the top art scenes in the U.S. The museums, the galleries, they're all kind of must-stop places on any road trip throughout the Twin Cities, whether that's your final destination or if you're going through. But like you said earlier, the Minneapolis Sculpture Garden, that's a great stop. A lot of renovations there over the last couple of years. And then they also have, my favorite thing there is really outdoorsy. So when you can combine outdoor with art, I am there. They have an artist design Skyline mini golf that starts May 20th. So that's a really fun thing to do if you've never tried it.
We really just went over quite a bit, what's happening, especially festivals, live music, art. Where's like the best spot for people to go to find out more information?
ExploreMinnesota.com. We have a really extensive database on festivals and events and activities, all basically everything I just listed, and thousands more listings throughout the entire state. And if you go to the website, again, ExploreMinnesota.com, we have great trip planning resources, a lot of really fun articles like, 3-day art and culture itineraries throughout the Twin Cities. We even have an article dedicated just to Winona's music and art festivals. We're here for the people. We want to give you the resources to get out there and try something new. Tell your friends about it. You can also call 888 Visit MN, and live chat with Minnesota travel experts online. I mean, we've got a lot of people here to help travelers plan their next trip in Minnesota.
La Crosse Local Podcast is a production of River Travel Media. Do you have an interview idea you'd like to share with us? Message us on Facebook at La Crosse Local. Find out more about us at lacrosselocal.com. And you can subscribe to the La Crosse Local Podcast on your favorite podcast app. If you like us, rate us 5 stars. We appreciate it.